Success is no accident. Live the legacy.
My education is my investment.
Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Sekunjalo ukuzenzele mfana kithi.
Cishe kuyona yonke imisakazo esingena kuyona ngalesi sikhathi nje kuntambama khona la kuona imisakazo yakho ehlukahlukeneyo njoba siza la kuwena sibukhoma City Hall kungaphansi kamasipala wedolobha leTheku. Uzokhumbula ukuthi inyanga yabantu abasha lesikuyona la khona iqhubeka kakhulukazi ukukhunjulwa kwalolu suku lolu noma lenyanga le eyabe neusuku lwabayisigameko la ngonyaka 1976. Kodwa kuzobona ukuthi intsha manje inazi inselele eziningi ebhekene nazo kulesi sikhathi esikusona. Umasipala wedolobha leTheku ukuthathele lithuba lokuthi ke bezoyidingida kabanzi zonke lezo zinto ezithinta kakhulukazi abantu abasha kuona lo mkhandlo omkhulukazi wedolobha leTheku. Singena kuwena ngasekhaya kuyona yonke lemisakazo iVibe FM, iNanda FM, iTheku FM, iZlomzansi FM, iMbokodo FM, iGood News Community Radio kanye neNtokozo FM. Kanti ungaphinda futhi ulandele cishe wonke ama-page social media umkhandlo wedolobha leTheku la uzobona khona lenkulumo iqhubeka nje bukhoma ngaba Twitter, Instagram, Facebook uzokwazi ukuthi ukulandele konke lokho ukuthi kwenzakalani. Sine panelist ekhona ke nabantu abasha nababakhona ngokunjalo futhi nabavela ekhundleni ezikhona kuma unit kamasipala wedolobha leTheku ngokunjalo futhi nomeya wedolobha leTheku naye futhi ukhona la ngaphakathi ekuthaneni kuzokhulunywa kabanzi ngezinto ezithinta bona abantu abasha. Sizobambisana ke nawe lapho ngasekhaya umlaleli weVibe FM, iNanda FM, iTheku FM kanye neZlomzansi iCommunity Radio okuyisona iGood News iCommunity Radio kanye neNtokozo FM ukuthi kunenombolo lesokunikeza yona ngasekugcineni la uzokwazi ukuthi ufone mhlambe bube nombuzo bazokuphendula khona la ngaphakathi. Inombolo ozoyisebenzisa kuyona lo ijwayele yangaphakathi emsakazweni wakho ngizocela ukuthi uyinote le number le ithi 082 846 6193 082 846 6193. Sizoyiposta nasenkundleni zokuxhumana ukuze ukwazi ukuyilandela le nombolo ozofonela kuyona. Ukhona kuzama wakwamncube okuyena ozofacilitate yonke lengxoxo ezobe iqhubeka. Ake ngibuyisele kuyena uzama bese yaqhubeka nalo uhlelo. Zama asibuyisele kuwena. Alright, sisaya kuyena uzama uzoxhumana nawe nje ngasekhaya bese kuzwa kahle. Zama, over to you.
Siyabonga kakhulu Ayanda, sibingelela abalaleli emakhaya. Uzama wakamncube njengoba uAyanda seshilo imina ozobe facilitator uhlelo lwethu lanamhlanje ethi Youth Commemoration. Njengoba sazi ukuthi eSouth Africa uJune siyithatha njengenyanga yabantu abasha. But before I continue, just introduce our panelists and umkhandlu wethu waseThekwini. Ngicela ukuqala ngobaba uMeya uCouncillor Thomas Kaunda, sibingelele baba Meya, sibingelele uDeputy Mayor Belinda Scott, and then we've got the Speaker from the municipality, Councillor Weziwe Thusi. Sibingelele Chief Whip Councillor S. Mkize, and then sibingelele Sipho Kaunda, who's the chair of the Economic Development and Planning Committee. Sibingelele Mr. Thanduxolo Sabelo, who's the chair of Human Settlement and Infrastructure. Sibe no Ms. Ntokozo Spear, who's the chair of Community Services. Bese sivala ngoNompumelelo Sithole, who's the chair of Governance and Human Resources. Umkhandlu wethu ke lo nawo. Then our panelists, I'll start from my right with is always to Azania Zuma, student activist, youth activist and a feminist, currently the country coordinator for Global Youth Parliament South Africa. And then Sibeno Doguhle Duma, who's the founder of Easy Stoves, that produce the product are made and sold by rehabilitated substance abusers, which the company seeks to empower. Sibe no Mr. Real San from the creative arts industry, who's the third winner in the talent show EThekwini. Sibe no Mr. Tembinkosi Langa from the disability sector, representing the persons with disability. Sibe no Miss Tembelani Jali, who's the bursary student of EThekwini. She's currently doing medicine, KZN Medical School. She's a 5th-year student. Sibe no Dr. Lelo, Miss Melelo Nkosi, who's known as Dr. Lelo. She's a medical doctor and a model. Ekugcineni sibe no Malusi, Mr. Malusi Mchunu. He has an LLB degree, current president of the Hull Cleaners Association of South Africa, and he's in maritime sector, but we're very much corrected here in the municipality. It's the ocean economy at maritime. So yeah, those are our panelists, and then I would really want to start by acknowledging the municipality for having such a program, because siyazi ukuthi siyabantu abasha, we always want such platforms so that we express how we feel and the things that we've seen. Obviously, with government that is leading us, we've seen so many changes, many things that are achieved by young people under our government, and our cry is not to say we don't see the difference, but is that can the government do more? We are not demanding, but we are just there to assist in making sure that many way to does more than what we currently see as young people. Abantu abasha kabalana babumeya, they are not here to fight the municipality or the government, but it is just to say, can we improve here? Can we have this channel so that we address this and this, so that we move forward together? But in reality is that we can't cry as if the government is doing nothing. We must acknowledge that there's a difference that we are seeing, and us as young people are, some of us here are direct beneficiaries of what the government is, difference that is done by the government, but we're not saying we're perfect. We are celebrating June 16 with a lot of things that have happened. We can't go back to what happened, that you can see what happened, but what we're more interested in is the lessons that we can draw from the 70s as the current youth of South Africa. Can't keep on saying they fought for this. No, we acknowledge that it happened. What is it that we can draw from abasha that they did? And again, we also need to take in consideration that right now, abantu abasha, we have isikhala esisodwa esifanayo, it's youth unemployment, opportunities that we feel like are not well presented to us as esiwadingayo. Things like right now we are currently faced with COVID. The young people that are crying ukuthi they are being retrenched emsebenzini, we've got things like last in, first out, and it's the young people that were recently employed and they have to be retrenched because of what is happening. And we cannot just sit back and cry. Yes, we will cry because it's affecting us, but then what do we do? Nati, we should be allowed space to assist the government on what we think can be done, because I believe with abantu abasha, we're still young, we still have fresh new ideas that can assist us in taking the economy to another level. We are all crippled right now, so it's going to be very unfair to look at the government and say, we're being retrenched as young people, what is the government doing? But we want to be allowed space to engage with the government, engage with the municipality in order to see how can we best go forward now that we are being faced with this. Because no one planned the COVID, no one knew that at this time we'll be sitting here with our masks. Everywhere we go, we see a sanitizer and all that. No one knew that this is going to happen. So I don't think it's fair for us to look at the government and say, what should we do going forward, but it is to say, as responsible young people, what can we do to take our country forward? So in light of that, I just want to highlight something that Babu Mayor, I am a lecturer at DUT. Now we are forced to teach students online. I don't mind doing it as a lecturer because I'm going to be given data, a device yokusebenza as a lecturer, but what are we saying about our students say to lo ohlala le emakhaya on a problem ngempela ye connection? Are we saying sihamba nabahambayo, those who are left behind sizobabona ngendlela, or because a university, it's where the future ye country yethu is. Abantu abasha balapho with their great ideas of taking the country forward, but how do we best assist them? Because there are many challenges that they are faced with, and you've got many of them are NSFAS beneficiaries. You've got your Minister of Higher Education saying, no, we'll give you devices, but umuntu ohlelile kamhlabe yalingana, how do I even come to Durban to collect that device? Many things as injengalezo we need to take into consideration as the government and allow young people. Singaba, let's not feed them what we think it's best for them. Let's allow them to tell us ukuthi how they think we can achieve what we want to achieve moving forward. But let me just not waste our time, because I have to allow our panelists Iskati to give us what they think. I'm going to start with Ms. Azania. We will just give you your time to express yourself and tell us what you think.
Thanks, Zama. My name is Olwetu Azania Zoma. I am a student activist, a gender activist, and a country coordinator for South Africa in Global Youth Parliament. And I think, given the brief description of myself that I've put forward, it's very important for me to start off by indicating, Mayor Owuti, it's a very painful time to exist in for every last person in the universe, but it is a more painful time for Black people, a more painful time for women. I say this because we all know there's Black Lives Matter, and amidst all of that, while Black people are scared for their lives, there's women that are scared for their lives. There's police incompetency across the world being spoken to, and in South Africa, there's cases whereby soldiers and police have been accused of actually being perpetrators of gender-based violence during the lockdown period, where they've abused power and have abused women in the process. Now, I want to highlight that sitting here speaking, it's with a heavy heart, because every conversation had right now is about how best to be safe from the coronavirus, how to be safe from systematic brutality to a poor person, a Black person, a woman, a young woman as myself. To know that when you enter into a platform, you must count. The first thing I do whenever I enter into a platform is that I do a count of how many women do I see here. And that's not because we were trying to be difficult, but it's because we have such a limited space to exist in, and the greatness of a woman is often suppressed by the neck, because, you know, the George case in Black Lives Matter was that of a man who had a knee to his neck and said he can't breathe, and right now we're dealing with young women who are unable to breathe. And I think in light of what Zama is speaking to say that right now we're meant to be commemorating, thanking the youth of 76, but we exist in a depression because we're having masks, we're sanitizing, we're socially distancing, we're introduced to many different things, and they are only being introduced to systems that already existed. Now, I'm saying this because what the coronavirus has tended to do for us, especially in South Africa, is that it's highlighted existing issues in our society. It's highlighted the great difference between the have and the have-nots. I think this will be known much by the EThekwini municipality as well, because just bekusha imijondolo yabantu abamnyama abahluphekayo ngesikhathi vele bezama ukufaka ukudla esiswini bashelwa izindlu zokuhlala. There's a project yokufaka amathangi ngoba banawo amanzi. They are unable to, at a time where they are supposed to be sanitizing, they don't have water. And while we acknowledge as that the municipality is doing a lot to help the people, but I think it's very important for us to bring forth that as opposed to 76, where we had young people taking to the streets and being catalysts of a movement and bringing forth systematic problems, we have now had the coronavirus take the position and the place of young people. We've had the coronavirus have to show people how poor Black people are. It's the coronavirus that has shown people now how a student who comes from a poor background is exposed to such unfortunate conditions in university. That sure, we might have quintile systems that make space and leeway for Black students, poor students, and we might even have an SFAS. But the current situation we're facing now, Mayor, is that there's cash-paying students who did not qualify for an SFAS on the basis that they exceeded the quota required. But now they are going to have to pay cash for longer than they initially intended because the academic calendar is extending. There's a financial crisis that is not going to be able to be tended to in this limited space of time. And it is drawing attention now to say that 350,000 is not necessarily all you need to show in order to say I'm poor. There's many other things that come in line with being poor as opposed to just the financial income that a family receives. And we are seeing this now because the coronavirus has showed us that there's families in the rural areas that are making money, proper money, but they don't have network, not because they don't have the money, but because they live in a space where network is not provided. It has highlighted to us that Wi-Fi is an absolute need. Wi-Fi is an absolute need. We have universities, DUT, for example, has not been able to cascade data adequately to its students. A lot of DUT students were supposed to start online learning a long time ago. UKZN was able to cascade data. They cascaded data to students, they gave students data, but online learning was not able to start. And when it did commence, the Vice Chancellor had to put it to an abrupt halt because there's many students who could not finish their tests on time, who could not submit on time, because even though they have the data, where they live, it's not conducive. It's not conducive. They are living in houses where they are told to socially distance, and there's already 10 people in one room. They have to go up a mountain to get network access before they can actually utilize data. And I think what the coronavirus has then done is that it's drawn attention to the challenges that we're facing, something that the youth of 76 would have already done by now. And Zama makes a very profound statement when she says, we can't continue to just thank youth of 76. And then every year, with Ogobo 2020, we are not carrying with us our own victories that the youth of 2036 will be able to refer back to and say, this is what you did for us. The youth of 2036 will thank coronavirus for having brought to their attention of the government that they need water, that we do not have water, we need water. There are schools in Ikobo, for example, that have not had water since the beginning of time, and only now are they receiving water. And this is not to say that the government is incorrect, obviously, in giving these schools water, but it is something that's to be commended that the government has been able to respond, even though it is a short notice and there's been no budget for coronavirus. But what it has simply done is that there was supposed to be water in the first place, and the young people of South Africa could have, probably should have even been able to advocate for everybody to be able to see that there's challenges. Students particularly that study abroad and those that study in South Africa from abroad had to deal with severe depression when they had to leave school abruptly, and there was no system in place in order for them to be able to transport it and brought back adequately with minimal hassle. And as a semi-last point, because I want to be mindful of time, I want us to look into, as young people and as a municipality, we're doing a lot, yes, and I exist in a space of global youth parliament. It's a globalized space. Globalization is threatened. Our country subscribes to nationalism as well. So there's been a bit of a confusion as far as globalization and nationalism and its contradictions, and I think the coronavirus again has brought us to our knees to now have to confront fourth industrial revolution, third industrial revolution, and a lot of other things that I think young people should have been able to do before the virus had arrived. We weren't making enough noise about that, and I think it's high time that we actually take charge as young people, as a municipality, and be proactive and not wait for pandemics to bring us to attention the injustices of society.
Thank you, Ms. Zuma. Can I be strict on time because we need to be mindful of time, please, guys? I'm just going to allocate 3 minutes each speaker, please. Mr. Duma.
Sanbonani, it's really such a delight to share this platform with you, Mayor, and greetings to everyone that's listening and watching on different platforms. My name is Ulindoguhle Duma, and I am a social entrepreneur. A social entrepreneur is a person that uses entrepreneurship to solve problems in society. It's realizing that as a country we have a lot of challenges, we have a lot of problems, but when we use entrepreneurship, the problem we're trying to solve can self-sustain itself and we can solve critical problems. So in 2015, I lost a friend to drugs. Together with the police, we found his body was butchered. It was in different parts, and he had owed a drug merchant a lot of money, and they made a statement with his life. So I then joined and volunteered in a Kalagabusha program that the municipality had started, where they were helping drug addicts and substance abusers and homeless people get help from rehabs. And I volunteered and I started training guys at the rehab center on how to start their own businesses, how to be job ready, and I'll help them get back to school. And when they left rehab, we'd hire them, so either as manufacturers of our welded products or our stoves, or we'd help them find jobs or help them get back to school. And during the process, we would get to assess if people are doing well in the community. But working with people that want to start businesses, I've realized a lot of challenges that we have as young people when starting businesses. It seems easy when people say, start a business, don't look for a job. But the process of starting a business is very difficult. And maybe this is where we should be open about it and maybe partner up with the municipality and government. The role of government is to really create a conducive environment for us as young people. So if we start a business, we can thrive. There are no red tapes, and we can start businesses easily. But with the challenges we have is that the red tape and the paperwork that we have to go through just to be heard, with the coronavirus, one of the biggest challenges was that to benefit from the relief, you had to have UIF, a reference number, you had to have other documentations that we didn't have. And that's been probably one of our biggest barriers. It's access to markets. Maybe this is where we should be opening up the discussion with, if as governments, if I'm a poultry farmer, there should be a center where I can bring stuff there and governments can sell under their brand, and because they have a bigger market share and they have a bigger buying power. It makes it very difficult as young people to sell our products, to have the startup capital, and to just be able to survive.
Thank you, Mr. Duma. Mr. Royal San.
Sanbonani, Kama Royal San, from Ngenza Music, Ngenza Jazz art industry. For me, akukuningi kakhulu kodwa ke ukubuka isikhathi esikusona njengamanje Mr. Mayor, se lockdown, COVID, yonke lento eyenzakalayo as an artist, kube nama challenges amaningi kakhulu, whereby kukhanselwa izinto eziningi njengama gigs, abanye bebezama ukwenza ama shows abo, abanye recordings and stuff. So everything bekumele ishintshe, kwaze kwafika la ekutheni ayikho imali income engenayo. So we feel like in the art industry sikhishelwa ngaphandle entweni eziningi, especially in a government. Now kunezinto nje ezenzakalayo ezikhalisa abantu abaningi bama artists, but ke for me ngiyacabanga ukuthi if kungaba khona indlela yokuthola ama skills azokwenza ukuthi ama artists akwazi ukuthi ayithuthukise since singena kwi technology, eyintweni ze technology, because yonke into it seems like kumele ibe online. Yabo, abanye abantu bashawa ama data, bashawa indlela ekwenziwa ngayo, how to connect event, uyenze event ibe online. So we need usizo kakhulu as an artist ukuthi kuhlanganiswa ama-artist abe nama-skills amasha atholakalayo azobenza ukuthi nabo kube khona into yi-income engenayo kubona, cause njengoba kukanje ayikho i-income engenayo and nakuma-relief fund bezwa bekhala wonke amakhono cause ama-artist bathi avalelwe ngaphandle kuyona yonke into.
Thank you, Mr. Royal Son. Over to you, Mr. Langa.
Thanks once more for the platform. Igama Langa, hailing from the disability sector campaigner. There are a few points that I would want to just highlight to the dignitaries before us, Amaspala. And basically, with the introduction of the white paper on the rights of persons with disabilities, we welcome the gesture, which shows that the government is demonstrating its commitment. And therefore, what we are then saying at the level of the municipality is that the set aside in terms of the percentages, we want to see persons with disabilities ascending to the fore, especially when it comes to issues of employment. We want to see young youth coming into that fold of 7%, because we would then want to then scrutinize as to, at the level of the municipality, we're at what stage in terms of the employment of young persons with disabilities within the population of the municipality. And secondly, also, when it comes to business ventures, there are a myriad of opportunities that persons with disabilities are availing and wanting to participate in. So when it comes to the issue of 30% in terms of procurement, then how is it that the municipality is meeting persons with disabilities in terms of that set aside ring-fenced for persons with disabilities as 5%? Is it ensuring that percentage is accessed by persons with disabilities? Because critically also, in terms of wanting to empower persons with disabilities, it will then be critical that if there are services that are geared towards persons with disabilities,
1 minute.
it's not just an add-on or optional. It should be a service provision to persons with disabilities, should be a core element into how persons with disabilities are a direct beneficiary to such programs, particularly when it comes to when they're cutting across issues of human settlement, housing, particularly with Your Excellency Tandukolo. How is it that persons with disabilities are a direct beneficiary to such issues? So I would want to then emphasize particularly that also to the fold of persons with disabilities in their offices, that they have a self-representation of themselves. They see themselves in terms of being officials
As
and
we
driving
close,
that
Mr.
agenda of
Langa.
persons with disabilities. Thank you.
Siyabonga, Mr. Langa. Miss Charlie.
Greetings to the mayor, the panel, and everyone on this platform. My name is Temelani Jali. I'm doing medicine at UKZN and I'm a beneficiary for the bursary of EThekwini municipality. I would firstly like to thank the mayor for giving us this platform to raise our issues and challenges that we face as a youth, and I hope when we get out of here, all of those issues will be tackled. As a bursary holder, I would like to thank the bursary for giving us this opportunity as varsity students to further our education, and I know it would have been a much issue if one didn't have finances to further the education. The bursary covers school and rest fees and also meal allowance, and recently book allowance was added. I'm saying recently because we started getting the book allowance last year in 2019, and it wasn't part of the contracts that we signed 4 years ago. I'm glad that we were able to communicate with the bursary and we came to an understanding. But it was so shocking at first with why weren't we getting a book allowance, because first of all, everybody knows that when you're going to varsity, you're going to study, so you're going to need books and you're gonna need laptops to write your assignment. The bursary doesn't even include laptops, and we would like them to consider that they give us laptops. Even now during COVID-19, we do need gadgets so we can do online learning to do assignments. We have many challenges that we have with the bursary. The most outstanding one would be the meal allowance. There's always a delay with our meal allowance, and this is so heartbreaking because even 2 months pass without us getting meal allowance, and we do make calls, we'll write emails, we even write SMSs like every time there's a delay. We did state in our contracts, when we were signing with contracts, that our families are not working. So this is bringing so much stress that no one can imagine. This is bringing so much damage. I even suggested that like they can have a fixed date, because we don't have a fixed date for our
1 minute.
because we don't have a fixed date for our meal allowance. This will assure us, and we'll know by this time we get our allowance, and if there is a delay, they must communicate with us. We don't have a relationship with the bursary. We'd like them to have a relationship with us, and we've never had a meeting ever since I started on this bursary. We'd like them to call us, have a meeting, discuss our challenges that we face, because there are lots. There are lots of challenges, and there's so much stress when you're varsity students, because there's books, even like family issues, they come and they burden you as a student. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jali. Dr. Lelo?
It's okay.
Within one of the hospitals in Edenwood district. I'm an influential speaker, a model, events host, and I'm a health and healthy lifestyle advocate. Sorry? Can you hear me?
You can continue.
I'm a proud young black South African female doctor from Emandeni, and I'm in the forefront during this pandemic of COVID. Hello? Okay, sorry about that. As I was still saying, I'm a young, proud, young black South African female doctor from Emandeni who's in the forefront during this pandemic of COVID-19. Now, njengoba sesiku level 3 and izinto mhlambe sengathi ithambile la ngaphandle with the lightening of our restrictions, but the truth is in hospital nationwide it's more like it's worse, because not only are we just surviving the pandemic, corona alone, but we are also now fighting and dealing with the increasing number of alcohol-related traumatic, medical, and social issues. As Azania has said, that it took corona alone, the pandemic alone, to remind us of all the other social ills and socio-economic issues that we are dealing with, from the pandemic itself to poverty, from racism to sexism, from teenage pregnancy to increasing maternal mortality rate, from gender-based violence to the hashtag Black Lives Matter, Women Lives Matter. The list can actually go on, but and eventually we will not have to be a generation that continues living with the effects of the injustice of the apartheid. So as I've said that I'm a doctor, completed my medical degree, and all thanks to my family, community, and the South African government. In 2014, I was one of the students who are going to be financially excluded with 36 other more students or more, but eventually the government came to our rescue. But take note, it took a strike of my young future doctors for the government to respond. I'm also very grateful for such platforms where given by our local municipalities, where we as young people are given an opportunity to actually be the game changers, the voice changers. Youth dialogues.
30 seconds, Dr. Lelo.
Young Rob, okay. Youth dialogues should be more frequent, you know. I said this because of the term consistency. Because sometimes ezenziwa nje gwa noma ezenziwa ngoJuni kuphela zike ithatha isikhathi eside to actually manifest. And please do remember that even whether we're taking our issues to the streets or boardrooms, we also still do deserve such platforms in decision-making platforms. As a youth, we are people. We are not just a classification of the age group, and we do not want to be only remembered in June or only pre-election. Youth lives matters as well. So as His Worship, as a former youth leader, you would know that we urgently need you to hear our cries.
Thank you, Dr. Lelo.
Thank you.
Hi, Kobe.
Yes. That's perfect. Ngibingelele wonke umuntu. Yes, Umalo Simkhulu, iGobi commercial diving company with licenses in or to operate in Cape Town, Richards Bay, EThekwini. I think mangabe kuthiwa nje ngiyiqale nje I-discussion yethu, especially because we know our challenges also my business. And I'm sure also my business have continued to interact with you from time to time. But from an oceans economy point of view, but also looking at it as the roles or being able to classify what roles should or what role you should be doing as a municipality and as a representative of the municipality, what role should we as also my business be playing to assist the social goals that abantu are giving you from time to time. I think one major misnomer is that uhulumeni must provide jobs. Uhulumeni does not provide jobs. Also my business abafana to make and create jobs. So your responsibility is to ask me, my business, why am I not creating jobs? What is my challenge to create my jobs? And when I communicate to him and I say, Mayor, you know, the problem in Nkulu is that we have a city which should be defined as the port city of Durban that is otherwise seen as something else. Now, we are chasing the tourism department, Maiti, South Africa's playground or Africa's playground, but I think they've done a great job marketing. But this is the port city of Durban. Almost 95% of the goods that you find in the SADC region, they come through this port. You've got 4,500 vessels a month coming through here. The ocean's economy has such huge potential for the city and for the communities around the city that it's almost mind-boggling as to why we are not saying, whenever we identify ourselves, that we are the port city of Durban. In fact, what COVID-19 has done is that it just brought it into sharp contrast the fact that logistics survives disasters.
You've got 1 minute.
And logistics continues. Even in the middle of a war, you must have logistical capacity. So I think, also my business, what we continually, whenever we look at our businesses and we set them up, there are certain things that we look at. And we in terms of being able to develop your understanding. And one of the things that I hope the leadership here will go out there and read and engage with is Naomi Klein's book on disaster management. And we're watching into a program director, nobody knew COVID-19 would come. You see, Naomi Klein in that book clearly states that disasters occur almost 5 years. Every 5 years, some sort of disaster occurs. So as a business, I must prepare myself. As a municipality, I must prepare myself. So it's those sorts of things that, as also my business, we are basically saying, we know these sorts of things. They are going to occur. How best do we position ourselves to be able to deliver on the basics that abantu are expecting from us? But
Yes, Mr. Mkono. Thank you very much. Sitetele uAyanda sizobalalela ukuthi bathini emakhaya. Because I think we've said a lot as young people. We also need to hear the listeners and the viewers as well, what they have to say.
ngizofundela le yonke le nto efundiswa ngababukeli efejini layo eThekwini Municipality. Uzofinotha yonke lokho kuzoleyo. Ngizofisa ukuthi nawe lapho ngasekhaya ube yingxenye yalo uhlelo. Ngenza ukuthi ulalela i-Vibe FM, Ilanga FM, Itheku FM, Izimzansi FM, Imokodo FM, Good News Commission Radio, kanye neNtokozo FM. Inombolo esiyisebenzisa akuyona le oyijwayele. akhona eThekwini yini engenziwa umasipala wethu assist ukuthi akwazi ukuthola i-shelter okungenani ngoba ngesikhathi edayisa ukudla akanayo indawo akakwazi ukuthi adayisele kuyona eyi-shelter. Uphindile share wabantu Mlambo usephejini eThekwini Municipality. Sizoba noManzama Madlala usetshela imnyama. Ukhamba ngendaba yokagesi ukuthi ugesi unacisha lapha endaweni etshela imnyama. Ukurana ibhizinisi ekhaya it's a challenge kuyena ngoba ugesi uba khona ngelinye ilanga ungabi khona. uManzama Madlala etshela imnyama. Sizoba khona ubonge Ngcobo uthi yena ungumuntu ongaqashiwe une-bachelor degree of public management. Yini engenzeka ukuthi akwazi ukuthola at least umsebenzi noma i-internship emkhandlwini wedolobha leThekwini. Kuzokuba uLukhanyo Born Free uthi nje yena naye ugogodile ufundele i-financial management kodwa udinga ungenani noma in-service training emkhandlwini wedolobha leThekwini. Kuzoba uSilwane Esihle Dube Mtima ungumuntu omusha unenkampani bakubona kunzima kakhulu ukuthola imisebenzi emkhandlwini wedolobha leThekwini. Yini engenzeka ukuthi bakwazi ukuthola imisebenzi? Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ke umtima lapho uzolalela ku Facebook uma ukuthi uyabukela khona lapha ukuze akwazi naye ukuthi aphenduleke. Siyakunxusa nawe lapho ngasekhaya ukuthi go to Facebook page yomkhandlu wedolobha leThekwini eThekwini Municipality so that uzokwazi ukuthi ubukele okwenzakalayo khona la eCity Hall. I-debate yabantu abasha bakhuluma ngebungaza lolu suku kakhulukazi njengoba kuyinyanga le yabantu abasha esikuyona. Uzoba ingxenye yohlelo sifonele 082-846-6193 kuona wonke umsakazo wakho owulalele lapho ngasekhaya sifonele 082-846-6193. Cishe omunye umbuzo khona la uLatha Dishika una 36 years uthi why imsebenzi kubona la sakazi uthi abantu abana 18 years to 35 years. What about bona i-youth endala? Ibhekelela kanjani i-youth endala naye ukuthi ikwazi ukuthola imisebenzi? Kube usicelo Memeza useClermont uyi-street vendor lapha ePinetown kodwa uhlala eClermont. Ukubona ku difficult ukuthola i-permit yokuthi akwazi ukudayisa. Amaphoyisa omkhandlu weThekwini ayamgijimisa lapha akanayo i-permit ePinetown. Yini engenziwa eThekwini Municipality ukuthi akwazi ukuthola into okuyiyona yona? Right now usebenzisa i-permit okungayona yakhe kamngani wakhe. Cishe yona yonke imibuzo la akangakwazi ukuthi aphenduleke kuyona. Ake sibuyele kuwena Zama while we still waiting ama-callers la.
Sibonge Ayanda. We may laugh about these things, but they are true, they are happening. They are very true and they are happening. Just to highlight a few things that we noted from our speakers, there was an emphasis on how COVID exposed young people and how poor they are, and complaints about the red tapes that esiwaficayo mangabe sesithi ke sifuna ukuziliberate as young people, the art industry that feels excluded or neglected, and then incorporating the people with disabilities emsebenzini ukubanika imisebenzi, employment, businesses, and the bursary students akhala ngokuthi nawo ama allowances awangeni on time, like they just need a platform to express inkinga zabo abanazo. Dr. Lelo spoke about us being remembered only on June 16 or on the month of June. We don't only exist in June, we are there as people, not as citizens of South Africa. And then all the potential that's there, that needs us as young people in the ocean economy to grab it with both hands. Ngathi sesinabo abalaleli, let us take callers ayanda sizwe ukuthi abantu abasha bathini.
All right, and sebuyo phone phindwa drop la sifonele 0828466193 inombolo uzoyifonela leyo ngiyazi ukuthi usathukile ujwayele ukufonela emsakazweni wakho ake sebenzise le nombolo esipecial la inombolo uzoyifonela 0828466193 inombolo uzoyifonela leyo lesike ukuthi sakwazi ukumthola lazama siyakubingelela siyaphila wena kunjani Oh, ubuhle Nkambule eThekwini, yes.
Yebo Nkosi yami. So basically la mina okwami ngingakubeka ba. Isicelo nje kumasipala wethu nginencwadi mina ngiyibhalile ebizwa ngekusasa lethu. Ngiphazanyiswe nje yona ikhorona ukuthi ngingayiprint. Kodwa isicelo sami masipala ukuthi akaqinise la ku-skills development. I-skills development ayifake kakhulu ey'koleni, ayifake kakhulu entsheni, ukuze intsha yethu ikwazi ukuthi njengoma i-economist intsha yethu eningi abazi nanokuthini i-economist abazi kodwa those are careers that will change the financial landscape ye-South Africa if sizogqugquzela abantwana bethu ukuthi abathathe ama-careers lawa akhokhayo.
Okay, buhle kuzwakele mfowethu ukhuluma nge-skills development asibe khona eThekwini asibuyisele kuza.
Sibonge Ayanda. Over to the chairpersons of the committees in the municipality. Let us start by Sabelo. Not Sabela, Sabelo. Mr. Thanduxolo Sabelo. Yeah, we sanitize before we touch anything.
Testing 1 2. Thank you very much, Program Director. Greetings, His Worship, the Mayor of EThekwini Municipality. Greetings to panelists, my colleagues in council and officials present today. First of all, we want to just thank you for the invitation. We think this initiative is a very good initiative that will help young people of our city. And we are actually encouraged by the suggestions that have been made here by these panelists and also by the comments, because I'm also following here on Facebook the comments and the questions. We do want to say, indeed, we are a municipality that is committed to youth development. We've got programs that we have set in place with the mayor being the former leader of the youth, as Lelo said. He's very passionate about youth development. In fact, if I can just give you a inside information, you'll forgive me, Honorable Mayor. I feel compelled when I see so many young people. Earlier this morning when we had our meeting, the mayor was pushing that we actually employ some young graduates to do meter reading in our city. There's a huge complaint about meter reading, water and sanitation department. So the mayor was saying, rather than employing contractors, let's look for young people that we can employ who are graduate, who can do these meter readings. So we've got quite a number of programs. I can say that, instructed by my mayor, we have established a youth panel or a youth database with companies which are youth-owned, women-owned, companies owned by disabled people, companies owned by military veterans. So we have since established that to help young people to benefit from the procurement spend of our municipality, which we believe that it will be in the range of a couple of billions if we implement quite effectively, which we do believe that we have got a capacity to do that. It will soon be announced by the mayor. We're also engaged in the issue of, I think it also goes hand in hand with, someone raised the issue of skills development. It goes hand in hand with the issue of skills development. Also engaged in a very serious radical economic transformation program led by the mayor.
And you've got 1 minute, Mr. Sabelo.
Oh, okay, thank you. I thought the chairs would be allowed sometime. We are engaged in a serious radical economic transformation program of ensuring that young people benefit in the procurement spend of the municipality. My cluster, which includes infrastructure, is the biggest cluster, and the mayor always says to me he expects this cluster to be the cluster that will change the lives of young people and change the lives of people with disabilities, military veterans, and women. And we've indeed embarked on those programs. ICOBI is in a specialized sector, Honorable Mayor. I think we must recognize that. I don't want to look down on other fields of trade, but the fact that they are in a specialized sector means that as a municipality we need to zoom in. I do believe they are the only black-owned company in that space, if I'm not mistaken. But I've interacted with these young people. I'm also a leader of young people. So
Yes, Mr.
so they, including our procurement spend, Bob Mayor, I know that they've got an interest, water, because there's some diving issues that need to be done. And those contracts, Department of Water, only go to companies, big companies, and those companies that are white-owned. I've said
5 seconds.
5
Mr.
seconds.
Sabelo,
I've said
yes.
to the officials
Please
they
wrap
must
up.
look at transformation. So ICOBI must prepare themselves within the policies of the municipality to say how they can also benefit not only through the port, but this city is also an enabler for young people. Thank you.
Very much. Our next speaker.
Asibonge kumshayeli wale dialogue enhle kanje, ngibingelela ubaba meya, intsha yethu ekhona yonke enela ngaphambili, osihlalo bamakomiti bonke abakhona lana, ngibingelele abalaleli emakhaya. First and foremost, let me commend our youth development desk for organizing such a beautiful event today. As the chairperson of governance and human resources, under human resources, we have established EThekwini Municipal Academy, and the role of the academy is to respond to the academic and skills development needs for our youth of EThekwini. Noting the unemployment rate, and we know as the city that youth forms a majority number yabantu abakhona enila eThekwini. As the city, we have programs that are there to respond directly to the dire needs of our youth. So the academy offers bursaries, as Indodakazi laphana ishilo ukuthi beneficiary of our bursary. We offer our bursaries, we offer skills programs, technical programs, and internships. And one of our flagship youth program is the internship program, where A year we take about 1,000 graduates and give them a 2 years experience. And some of those graduates end up being absorbed and are now working for EThekwini. In the year 2019 and 2020, the academic program, 4,000 students benefited from our academic programs. And in line with the EThekwini municipality budget statement policy, we are looking into giving 4,500 youth opportunities to different programs that the city.
30 seconds left.
Ngiyabonga. Maybe to respond to a question that was asked by Utemkosi of a percentage of disability, a percentage of disabled persons employed in the city. As the city, we are supposed to employ 2% of disabled people. Right now we are sitting at 1.5%. So we are going there at Temkosi. We are a city that is caring, and we are a city that is friendly to persons living with disability.
Thank you very much. The next chairperson, Mr. Ozosbia. And we must say that it's very good to see young people besiphathela umasipala for a change. Yes. It's impressing. Yes, for a change.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Siyathanda ukubingelela ubaba uMayor, Deputy Mayor, uSpeaker, uChief Whip, noyihlalo bamakomiti abakhona, ipanel yonke. Sibingelele nabalaleli emakhaya. Sibonge kakhulu kubahleli balomcimbi wanamuhla esiubona usupporta umbono nathi as i-leadership yomkhandlu esinayo wokubona abantu abasha besukuma bezibambela besukuma belekelela ekwakheni izwe lethu. Mhlawumbe umuntu uyafisa ukuthi athinte ama-items raisiwe by our panelists, starting from le yokuthi we heard ukuthi most of our panelists are saying they can see, or rather we all can see what the government is doing, but we are saying uhulumeni wethu sicela usenzele more. Having said that, I think kufanele mhlambe sikusho ukuthi kule eraiswe usisi oshayela uhlelo usisi uzama ye connection noma ye network noma ye data for ama students wethu, asikusho mhlambe ukuthi as a municipality ama libraries wethu wonke ane Wi-Fi and amaningi awo even ngesikhathi sika level 5 of lockdown saba ne discussion yokuthi ingane ziyabonakala ihleli ngaphandle kwama library nawo kwakufanele si decide whether siyayivala yini because abantu fanele bahlale emakhaya. Then we agreed ukuthi if usiwavala ingane ziyafunda emakhaya, therefore asikwazi ukuyivala. Then we ended up singazange sesiwavale even during isikhathi se lockdown u level 5, which was much more strict in terms of abantu bephumela ngaphandle. And then number 2 on program le yeqala kabusha, ngicabanga ukuthi kufanele sikuveze nathi ukuthi as a municipality, particularly on community services, we also have ama programs that aim at ukulungisa noma ukuqoqa impilo zabantu abasha sibaqala besabancane, because we have a boy child program, sibe ne girl child okuyi program futhi era nomasipala, and we also have women dialogue, ama programs lawe besiba nawo mnyaka yonke. And then this year we were aiming at introducing amanyama programs abezofocus kwi boys to men, where sizama ukuhlanganisa ubudlelwane phakathi kobaba asebeqinile njengoba Mayor no baba basebasha njengoba busabelo. So siyafisa ukuthi kube khona ubudlelwano in terms of ukuba ubaba, ngoba sike sibone ingane zobaba usabelo zibashaya emakhanda kanti thina sakhulu babe ngashawe emakhanda. So
30 seconds, Ms. Bia.
Okay. So i-program yethu ifuna ukuhlanganisa ubudlelwano ukuthi bukhulumisane obabazali abadala nabasha. We also have programs that we have in line for LGBTQ communities and also single moms network. Maningi ama programs that we have in the pipeline because we know indlela manje esesiphila ngayo ukuthi inakho ukuthi amakhaya ethu kungabi ubaba umama nezingane but uthola ukuthi umama umalume ugogo umamncane sonke sihlele endaweni eyodwa. So sigcine sibone ngathi sandelwa izingane ezidlebelekile indlela ama families ethu ase structured ngayo khona manje. Ngokwaka health siyafisa ukuveza ukuthi we have programs as well afuna ukwenza ama clinic ukuthi ababe friendly to young people. Abantu abesilisa kanye nabesifazane.
Yes, as we close.
Sesivala impela.
Yes.
Sesivala impela. Uhlelo loma artist akhulume ngalo ubhuti wami lapha ya ikhona nakhona iprogram umasipala onayo but esazopolisheka kahle so that uma isifika wonke futhi ama artist athi mayeyibuka ayithokozele iyamukelwe yiwo wonke ama artist. Sengiphendula nje ukugcina lo befonile. Sicela ukumphendula lo khulume ngencwadi. Because sine unit PRC esizayo kakhulu in terms of ababhali bezincwadi. If you wish to launch incwadi, if you wish to thola ama publishers as well, sinayo. We have book fair, we have Articulate Africa, we have programs that deal also with ukubhalwa kwezincwadi. Sesenzela ukuthi nabasemakhaya bazi ukuthi they can always approach our offices avulekile sikhona la eCity Hall if there are things ezithinta lezi sesikhulume ngazo. Siyabonga kakhulu sesizama.
Sibong. Let me be strict on time now because we are chasing time and we still have the mayor ongakakhulumi. I am going to give exactly a minute to the speaker, the deputy mayor, and the chief whip. Exactly a minute.
Okay, I'm sure I won't even take that long. I just wanted, as the chair of finance, I'm not just the deputy mayor. I wanted to respond to the set-asides. The Triple PFA, the Preferential Procurement Act, actually
You are disturbing our minute.
It actually legislates set-asides for youth, women, and the disabled. And what we are doing as a finance portfolio committee is ensuring oversight over our main contracts, that these are actually built into our tenders. The other thing that I wanted to say, and I really feel a lot because, you know, as a graduate myself and being studying for many years, I feel very strongly about the conditions in which students are housed in EThekwini. And I think that as a city, together with the SRCs, we need to actually go to the university, and because it's not acceptable that you're being housed in the inner city and then you don't have transport money to get from here to the university, where there are a lot of premises available next door to the university where university students could be housed. And I also don't think that the provision for your accommodation here in the city is safe, particularly for young women. And I'm prepared to champion that with you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you very much. I just want to say to Dr. Lelo, you didn't greet us old people. You only said hi to the young people, and we here, we were once young. But I must say, the municipality takes youth issues seriously. That's why we have a unit that deals with all the issues of the young people. So let us work together and ensure that all your issues are dealt with by this municipality. We are committed to work with you, but let's join hands again and fight the scourge of domestic violence, gender-based violence as a whole. Let's work together to make sure that we fight the scourge. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker is Councillor Q.
Siyabonga kakhulu, all protocol observed. Ngine minute na.
Of course.
Siyabonga. Asike siphendule nje kukhona umlaleli ofonile etshela emnyama wakhala ngokucima kagesi. Bekunendlela ezimbili ekade zikhona, eyokuqala ileyo load shedding ekade ikhona national. Number 2 kube nokuntshontsho kagesi, lokho kwenza ukuthi umasipala agcina esenza informal settlement, electrification, ukuthi ney'ndawo ezimjondolo siyifakele ugesi. Ukuze kwehle izinga lokucisha kukagesi. Okunye kwesibili khona abacele imisebenzi noma ama learnership nama internships. Njalo emva kwamasonto amabili kuphuma iphepha lakamasipala libizwa ngoMetres aseBugagasini. Likhipha imisebenzi yakamasipala liphinde likhiphe futhi nama learnership nama internship. Siyacela ukuthi abantu bakithi ba-apply. Enye i-perception honorable mayor ekufanele si-address ile yokuthi kune-perception outside there yokuthi i-formality nje lento yoku-advertise umsebenzi engathi sekubantu abathile sekuyenzelwa nje ukuthi uvezwe emaphepheni. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I am now going to give our panelists exactly a minute to respond to what has been said. A minute. I am timing you. So please make sure that in this minute you say everything that you want to say. Whilst I'm still there, President Wetu in his speech last year on the Youth Commemoration Day, he said, young people of this country are far from being the lost generation. They are seizing the future with both hands. So can we do exactly that? Because it seems like President was temba. Can we do exactly that as young people? Azani, I'm going to start when a minute. I'm very strict on time because we still have the mayor to speak. So 1 minute, and then you give the next speaker a chance. Thank you.
Thanks, Zama. I think just want to thank the municipality in its entirety for this opportunity. And I think I want to allude, Uguti. Initially, this program was supposed to be an hour, and we are grateful that it was extended to 2, because evidently we would not have been able to do much with the hour. And I think, siyayibonga kakhulu Masipala for usinikeza that 2 hours, but I want to complain and say that we need a lot more time. For example, the deputy mayor was just entering into something that is very close to my heart, something I touched on as well. And because of the time restrictions, we've not been able to dwell and diverge. And I think just as a closing remark from myself is that I think when you get a platform and you just look into it, and then you have the pressure of time and you're unable to articulate as you had initially planned to. So I think if we could just get, I don't know, a platform that would give us ample time to be able to speak to our issues, because as thing stands right now, it's sort of it's a bit of a stretch to say that we've
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Zuma. Next speaker.
Yeah, I also agree. We're very grateful for this platform. I think as young people, about Karama business, we need a lot of support. We really need a lot of support, and just maybe making more access to Leo support. EThekwini, Sibamba Makiu, solo or no from people that can't give us yeses. But it's just allowing people to access that information and the resources. It becomes very difficult. I'd like to say that, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, nami ngizovumelana nabo zakwethu ukubonga nje ngethuba nokuhlangana ukuze sokhala ikhalo zethu zonke. As an artist kunento eyenzakalayo ngiyangimzwile uma ekhuluma ngokuthi akhona ama program asazofika eLokhuzana. So I'm one of the artists abalokhuzile abathathwe ku youth office kwi competition ayikhona lapho. So ngiyavumelana ukuthi akhona amathuba. So as youth abakwi arts industry ukuhlangana nje sizama ukuthi sibheke la kukhona khona amathuba and singavaleleki ngaphandle because zikhona lezi zinto zokuthi athi amathuba esekhona mase kuba khona certain people abathola lawo mathuba ubona abantu kwi industry kubuya abantu ababodwa njalo.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next speaker.
No, thanks once more, and I would want to then welcome the response of Thanduxolo, realizing and acknowledging the fact that his department is the break or lose towards the empowerment of the various sectors, the functional sectors, and particularly also to what Deputy Mayor Belinda Scott has just said. We would want to, Deputy Mayor, appeal to you to entrench that element of having that specification to say that persons with disabilities in the main contracts are there. And also speak to the issue of what Umundis had just also furnished me with in terms of the percentage of 1.5. To say that is welcomed, Mundis. Also wanting to note, this is not a lament, it's a matter of sensitizing, that in terms of terminology, which it is fine to say persons with disabilities or disabled persons, and we should then shy away from persons living with disabilities.
Siyabonga, Mr.
Thank you.
Ms. Jali?
Oh, mina, as a bursary student, I'll say, besacela bandla umeya afike ekhandlini ngasemakhaya, because coming here is very expensive for us. Bez bengasemakhaya and then announce they're gonna come and give out bursaries to students abawadingayo, because emakhaya we're very poor, we don't have transport, and we don't even have an internet ukuthi siwaseshe lama locals, and that will help a lot. Yabonga.
Hello. Just to add on, I just wanted to inform people that indawo njenge-ibhedlela still zisayiyo indawo where gender-based violence happens. As a young doctor, I get to experience verbal abuse almost every now and then. Ngikhona lapha esibhedlela ngidila ne-patient mhlampe iphuzile and idakiwe, kwesinye isikhathi mhlampe ayiphuzile, i-patient isho ukuthi ena ingabi yangithinta, or they be calling me names. As udokotela, I have limited resources, and it's very upsetting ukwazi ukuthi kahle kahle ngenzani from here. If I twist the story, kuze umuntu wesifazane uyafika lapho ushiswe nge-iron uyangitshela ukuthi uhlala emqashweni with lo muntu lo ozame ukumbulala. She literally only feels safe within that moment of time enami. Uma sephumile sengimdischargeile uphindela khona lapho kwenziwa njengodokotela asinikiwe enough power as the title doctor itself wokuthi sikwazi ukuzama ukuchampiona i-gender based violence. And bengicela nje ukuthi ubaba ume angidlulisele message to the Department of Health, when we look and zoom into that approach of ukuthi odokotela bengasiza kanjani, creating more safety centers and safety spaces for abantu besifazane, and literally being the voice, and also directly informing amaphoyisa when such cases happen. And lastly, can the youth just not let the sun set on our own dreams and visions? Thank you so much for this platform.
Thank you very much.
Sabonga. Hey, but Mayor, I was so impressed the first time I heard ukuthi there's a campaign 2 years program. And I thought ukuthi President had instructed wonke umuntu osebenzela uhulumeni to say yes whenever young people propose things. And it was something totally different. So just like Uduma is saying on the far side, also my business, our biggest challenge is that whenever we make proposals, and especially as young people, the most natural reaction that we get from our officials is that no. It's not yes, it's not how can we best do it or how do we assist in it. It's mostly no. So I'm hoping you can play around with it and start a campaign and say, I guess women nje. Umuntu omusha mefikile ne proposal yakhe, ake sivume but sibeke within ama confines lawo omthetho, but ake sivume ukuthi yenzeke. Kunensizwa efonile lapha efonini yakhuluma indaba zokusizakala about mobile kitchens. And this comes to mind because of COVID, you've got a lot of people who are now operating their businesses, whether it's restaurants, etc. They're operating them from home. The biggest challenge now is the permits. Khona abanye who want to establish mobile kitchens that you can park here wherever, but the issue is permits. So you have a challenge where you have a permits office that is not necessarily moving in line with also my business, my ideas, and therefore lagging behind. So it would be great if everybody could move together.
Thank you very much, Macingwane. Siyabonga. Inkinga ngathi sinosopolitiki la kama speakers ethu manje lento yokukhuluma ivaleki. But thank you very much to our panelists. Sibonge nje ukuthi sithola ama views of abantu abasha ukuthi yini esiyidingayo. And acknowledge ukuthi umehluko wona siyawubona ngoba asikwazi ukucomplainisa okwabantu abangaboni lutho. We do acknowledge that yes, we see the difference, but allow us to tell you ukuthi this is how we feel, and we really want to speak to the office of young people, youth office, ukuthi we don't only need these platforms ngo June, because uJune uyafika udlule, we're still there as young people. Our needs are still not taken care of. And mase silaleliwa kwenzeke phela lokho esesikushilo. Not just to listen to us, but masifika laphaya uthi we know this thing is not implemented yet or whatever. Siyacela action what we are speaking about. Ngisazo hand over to Ubabu Mayor, Councillor Ukawunda. I just want to shortly highlight ama questions that we had from the listeners at home. Ukuze Ubabu Mayor ezothi mais addressa azikhumbuzisa ukuthi konje abantu abalaleli emakhaya bebekhala ngani kunophindile mbambo khale nje ngokuthi udayisa ukudla kwama factories manje udinga ukuthi asizakale lapho kunomanzamo setshenela iminyama but uphendulekile with the issue of electricity and then the issue of internships and learnerships, it was also addressed. Ukuthola imisebenzi kamasipala hayi leyo kusebenza yokuqashwa. I think they're speaking about tenders here. It was uDube. Kwase kuba nento engifuna ukuthi sizame ukuthi sibalekela bekho abantu abasha above 35. Young people are from bagcina with 35. Yes. It's a reality. Asikwazi ukuthi umusha ungekho musha. No. Because now you are crowding the very same young people esithi baningi baxakekile. So let us acknowledge ukuthi yes bakhona abantu asebebadala ba no 36 badala kodwa. Yes. Bakhala ngokuthi imisebenzi kukhulunywa, unfortunately something that we cannot change. It's young people that are 35 and below that we are speaking about when we talk about young people. And the people that need permits to sell and everything else. Ubabu Mayor is going to address us, but let me just give this opportunity to Mayor wetu Ubabu Councillor Ukawunda as we are about to finish the program. Sicela ukusanitizer Babu Ukawunda ukuze senze sure ukuthi yonke into isohlelweni. Oh yes. Silwa nalento ye COVID. Yes, uyozabe emhlophe impela.
Thank you very much, Program Director, our facilitator, who has steered this ship to the correct direction. Since we started, I'm sure, she has displayed high level of skills to conduct such a responsibility. So we really appreciate your intervention in that regard. Leadership of the municipality, the deputy mayor, the speaker of our municipality, the executive committee members who are present, our panelists who also shared with us their experiences, which are very important in shaping the future for the youth in our city. They've also raised a number of challenges which are pertaining to our interventions as to how can we enhance the interventions in regard to the issues of bursaries, the issues pertaining to youth development in general. So therefore we are taking the responsibility to be responsive to what you have raised with us. Abantu abasha basemakhaya basilalele sibonga kakhulu isikhathi senu ukuthi nibe kanye nathi. Sifisa nje ukudlulisa kuqala ukubonga ukuthi ama panelists ethu they come from different sectors and they do represent the youth interest. As they were speaking here, they've covered a number of issues: ocean economy, arts and culture, academia in terms of the universities and how we envisage to respond to issues of students on the exclusions that are also being experienced by students, issues of accommodation, issues of safety, issues of gender-based violence, which are engulfing the institutions of higher learning. So we've taken note of all those issues and we are committing ourselves. This is not a talk show. We are going to be responding to each and every issue that has been raised with us. Even from the callers, laba bafonile bashiye nezinamba ngithi ke siyangena nakuma Facebook njoba nikhuluma nje la sikhona na kwi page siyabona ama comments so abanye basisizile bashiya ama contact numbers abo so sizokwazi ukuresponda ezintweni abayirezile. We value your contributions. Program Director, let me say from the onset that it has been such a great honor and privilege to join you today to be part of this engagement, which I believe is not just a talk show, but it is an engagement which will enhance the interventions we are doing as the municipality in relation to youth development in our city. As the leadership of EThekwini, we appreciate and we have enjoyed listening to your contributions and possible solutions which we have brought to the table on how we can better respond to the concerns and create an environment where young people can flourish. We are not engaging with future leaders here. You are not future leaders, you are leaders in your own right now as you are engaging with us. But you are here to lay the foundation for future generations to benefit from your own contribution. We regard you as leaders. Importantly, our gathering today is part of ongoing events in the month of June, which commemorate Youth Month in honor of all those students who took to the streets to demand quality education and justice for all. Siyisho ke le ngoba siyadinga ukukhuluma ngemzabalazo yabafowethu abazizabalazela balwa belela ukuthi sithole inkululeko. Kodwa ngivumelana nezinye zezikhulumi la ukuthi okubalekile manje ukuthi thina senzani. Kubalekile sireflecting ma experiences nama struggles abo kodwa sekufanele sibheke ukuthi how do we then seize the opportunities which they fought for. Ngoba akusasizi manje ukuthi sikhale kodwa okubalekile ukuthi senzani to change our own lives. I want to make a commitment. I've engaged with our youth section of the municipality and we agreed that there will be a youth indaba or a youth summit where you'll have adequate time to make your contributions. So I'm sure izobivulelo le yothatha 3 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3 sikhulume lapha. Sikhulume ngempela izinto ezihlupha abantu abasha. So that platform will be created. I want to make that commitment to you. Last Tuesday on June 16, we marked 44 years since young people of this country broke the silence and said enough is enough. They decided to raise their voices and challenge the brutal apartheid system with the sole aim of bringing it to its knees. The youth of 1976 were united in demanding an end to the repressive educational system as well as unjust laws and calling for equal rights for all citizens of our country. We paid tribute to leaders of the class of 1976, such as Sietsi Mashineni, who mobilized students to action on that fateful day which became a defining moment for our struggle for liberation. The bravery of young people has always changed the course of history in our country. On this day, we are reminded of other pioneering figures who led the struggle at a young age, such as Anton Lembede, the first president of the ANC Youth League, in which this municipality have decided ukuthi akwazi ukuba no first president we Youth League osembumbulu kodwa kungabe khona lutho okwenzayo ngetourism kuleya route kababu Anton Lembede. So lo mlando balekile. It's a heritage that we must preserve, and for us it's just to action what needs to be done. Singalokho esikhala njalo ukuthi ngampela ubabulembede akwenziwa lutho ngaye. So we must put actions in place. Umasabalala Yengwa and other departed young people and leaders of EThekwini region such as Busbiya and Zutulele Mshibe. We have no doubt that the spirit of these leaders are with us here today as we strive to overcome the challenges plaguing our young people. For the longest time, our young people have been on the receiving end of poverty, unemployment, and gender-based violence. The advent of coronavirus, COVID-19, has further exposed our youth to these challenges. We applaud the President, His Excellency, Cyril Ramaphosa, for announcing a further easing of COVID-19 lockdown restrictions, allowing the opening of restaurants, commercial licensed accommodation, and personal care services, including hairdressers. Thousands of young people, particularly women, rely on these industries for their livelihood. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mark this important milestone in the struggle that was led by the youth, we must intensify our collective efforts to improve the lives of young people and open up opportunities that will enable them to play a meaningful role in the economy. There's been a number of complaints concerning the employment in the municipality. We have taken note of that. We even make a commitment during the budget speech that we are going to investigate allegations which are put against our own institution in terms of nepotism and many other aspects which have been raised with us. So that commitment has been made. As we are speaking, we are now sitting with the different chairpersons and their clusters to outline the implementation plans of what we have presented during the budget speech. Budget speeches or policy statements are not for just being the statements around the public, but these are commitments which also must be attached with the implementation plans as to when this thing is going to happen. Part of what we have raised in that particular statement is the commitment which my colleagues have shared with you, that 30% of procurement must be allocated to the youth, women, people, disabled people, as well as military veterans. Ladies and gentlemen, as we mark, one of the strengths of our country is that the majority of our population is constituted by the youth. Therefore, young people, as an important source, should be central in coming up with bold and groundbreaking initiatives for to free this country from the bondages of poverty. Siyayithanda ke macingwane lo irizile. Ocean economy is one of the interventions which are required urgently by the municipality. We can't keep on claiming to become the port city, but we are not reflecting that we are indeed a port city. So unedolobha nje livalwa ngo-9 ebusuku livalwe thaqa. Kube mnyama nje kuvalwa kuthiwa selivaliwe idolobha. Shithi mawusufike ngabo-9 cabanga ukuthi labantu abafika ngo-9 laba osomabhizinisi abaphethe amadola abafuna ukuzospenda imali eThekwini. So abasalitholi ithuba lokuspenda imali eThekwini. So therefore we are going to intervene in that. We are also unlocking the challenges that are also confronting our own port as Durban Port. We are working with the minister Ubabu Godan and as well as other stakeholders to unlock those challenges. In recognition of the importance of building a strong academic foundation for young people, the municipality invests close to 10 million every year to assist students through bursary schemes and student relief programs. We are going to be responding to your call, Dokotela Eti, Masinika bursary. Let's have engagements, let's have meetings, interaction, so that you can evaluate how the bursary is unfolding and what are the challenges that are presenting themselves during the course, so that you are able to provide necessary interventions to change the situation for the better. So that's a good call, and we are taking it and will be responsive to it. Our student relief fund assists students who have performed well with registration fees or help settle their outstanding fees. We are pleased that we are among us today some of the beneficiaries of these programs, and we call on them to become ambassadors so that we can reach even more deserving young people out there. It is a former ANC president, Oliver Tambo, who once said, and I quote, "A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth deserves no future." So therefore, as a municipality, we are carrying that bigger responsibility to shape the life of our own youth moving forward. To this end, EThekwini municipality remains committed to help the youth reach their goals. Through our Youth Development Office, we want to ensure that our interventions prevent young people from falling through the cracks and no one is left behind. We have also identified areas where there are scarce skills in the country and have deliberately intervened by providing a bursary scheme to fund students in the field of engineering, architecture, quantity surveying, and applied chemistry. The bursary covers tuition fees and accommodation. Yes, we have heard the plight of the students, that it should be coupled with technology, laptops and other stuff that are required. Ladies and gentlemen, for us to flourish in the fourth industrial revolution, it is critical that the country produces globally competitive graduates. We are proud that the government of the ANC remains steadfast in upholding the guiding principle of the Freedom Charter, which states clearly, and I quote, "Education shall be free, compulsory, universal, and equal for all children," I close quote. This is the same goal that was relentlessly pursued by the class of 1976. It is pleasing to note that since the dawn of our democracy, over 90% of public schools have become no-fee paying schools, and learners are benefiting from school feeding schemes and subsidized public transport. This alone has contributed to the increase in school attendance from 51% in 1994 to almost 100%. The number of learners who passed matric increased from 50% before 1994 to around 80%. Our support for university and TVET college students from poor and working class backgrounds through the National Student Financial Aid Scheme has hugely increased from 70 million rands in 1994 to nearly 350 billion rands. This has contributed to the enrollment of students doubling over the same period to over 2 million, significantly transforming the racial and gender composition of the student population in our country. Excuse me. Building on the NSFAS program in 2018, the government also introduced free higher education at first year level for students from poor and working class families. This policy has been extended to second year students, and by 2024, all undergraduate students will be fully funded by NSFAS. To ensure that our young people become self-sufficient and create jobs instead of being work seekers after completing their studies, the city has committed itself to establish a mayoral jobs creation and skills revolution war room. That war room will be driven by the mayor in the city to ascertain that we do align the skills that are being produced by our institutions of higher learning with what are the real needs of our own economy of the city, so that we are able to become more responsive to the aspirations of the youth. Part of this is the launching of the EThekwini Economic Council. That council is not aimed at becoming the talk show as well, but we are going to be seated with the academia, with the civil society, with labor, with business, ourselves as a municipality, so that we all contribute to this shared vision of growing EThekwini's economy, so that it is able to respond to the aspirations of our people. So that is on the pipeline and is going to be implemented soon. This initiative will focus on creating business and employment opportunities for the youth, as well as to drive vibrant township and rural economy driven by social enterprises. The mistake that we've been committing, you know, the legislation, pieces of legislations of our country do allow us to intervene, but we've been reading them the other way around. So it's looked like it's a crime for the municipality to do a project, a road project with the public entity, not a PTY LTD owned by Mxolisi. So where people, local people will be able to partake, and you expand the opportunities to those who have been locked out of those opportunities, so that you enable them to participate through social enterprises, cooperatives, and many other entities. So that is part of the law. So therefore, we are compelled to implement our laws as they are. But we have been neglecting that part. We have just been issuing tenders to private companies only, without taking the communities into cognizance, so that they become part of their own development. They can shape their own development and also have ownership of what has been delivered to their community. Because the reason why people are banning schools, why people are banning community halls, because they still refer to those facilities as the municipal facilities, not our own facilities. So we need to change that mindset as we move forward. To this end, we have made it clear that a minimum of 30% of our procurement spend must be allocated to social enterprises owned by the youth, women, and people with disabilities. Section 217, subsection 2 of the Constitution provides for the implementation of procurement policy framework that allows for the advancement of people disadvantaged by unfair discrimination. So this is the new normal. If you want to ask us, what is it that you'll do differently? This is what we are going to be doing differently. So these resources that are allocated in the infrastructure, they are going to be shared by the number of people, especially those poor communities from deep rural areas to townships and other areas, informal settlements. How are we going to be doing this moving forward? We have committed ourselves that each and every month, because it's an outcry that the government is nowhere to be found. People, they have to come here to the city hall to get government. So we are changing that narrative, and that narrative, we are changing it through implementing our Operation Sugumasake outreach program, which is led by the mayor and the executive, where we are the ones who are going to committees, not committees coming here. So each and every month, we visit at least 12 wards of this municipality. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has impacted negatively on this particular noble program that we have developed. But we are resuscitating it since we have unlocked many other aspects of social life and both social and economic aspects of it. To implement these reforms, the municipality will be working with all sectors of the society, particularly the business sector and the academia. We will be engaging our tertiary institutions to ensure that they produce graduates who have skills that are required by the sectors of the economy in our city. In closing, we want to remind our young people that we are commemorating Youth Month when the country is in the grip of COVID-19. Therefore, we call upon you to draw inspiration from the youth of 1976 and become activists for change by playing your part in curbing the spread of this pandemic. But we are not only focusing you in the fight against this pandemic, but we are also calling upon you to seize the opportunities that are already available, but also to assist us as your leadership to identify areas where interventions are required. Bring your own innovation. We have said to the municipality when we arrive here, this thing of saying we want to implement water smart meters in this city. So we are going to take something from somewhere, whether from the West Australia, and bring it here so that it can work for us. But if you do your own assessments, people from those countries, those things are no longer utilized. They are just dropped here because Africa is looked like a continent where you can just drop anything that doesn't work, that is no longer working. So we have challenged our youth. We said to them, no, we are not going to spend billions of rands importing such facilities. We want you as young people to develop your own innovations, come and bring those solutions to us as a municipality so that you can start partaking in the economy of our city. And remember, to own such facilities, mostly imported, it becomes a very huge liability. It becomes a very huge transaction as well. But if we take you as the youth to a particular country, whether Indonesia or any other country, we say go and learn better on these skills so that you can come back and invest in the city. So we'll have done a lot to change the lives of the poor youth that are confronted by the poverty and high rate of unemployment. So it's important that as we are speaking with you now, as young people, we accept what we have said, that abantu phela mabelethe ama-proposals. Amanye kama-officials anamkhuba ukuthi you bring your own proposal on the table. We think as young people you can do 1, 2, and 3, but you discover that the very same official uzothi no, this thing is not feasible, not going to happen, and we can't finance this thing. By the time you left that door, then he or she calls abantu bangasekhaya. Hey, come here, sengine idea la. Then the idea is now being utilized by other people who did not even bring any thoughts on it. So it's important to close the ranks and fight the scourge, because it is unbecoming and it must not be welcome in our public institutions. So therefore, we have systems that we are going to be putting in place to guard against such behavior, so that when young people, they bring their innovations, they are being accepted. Yes, they are being advised. For you as an official, you don't have any right to chase a person away. If something you think that is not feasible to be done, you are the one who must assist that person to enable that person to make this thing work. So therefore, you can't be saying we can't accept this. So it's you are skilled, you are employed, you are carrying a responsibility to respond to the issues that people are bringing on the fore. So it's important that we move together with you. We wish you everything of the best, but we are continuing with our Boys to Men program, because it's important to fight against gender-based violence. Abantu abasebasha behlale nasebekhulile kushare ama experiences. Yes, ezinye izinto ngeke ifane ngoba ikhatha ifani zokuphila. Yabona isikhathi mina engiphile kusona ngeke sifane nabaphila kusona abanye benu. So ngoba thina sisadla ngolidala, kodwa okubalekile ukuthi akhulisane, sicothozisane, ngoba ukulwisana nalesihlava sokubulawa kwabantu besifazane kanjalo nesihlava sokubulawa kodadewethu, uma ngabe nje esethi angisakuthandi sekuthiwa hayi akafeke makunjalo, uyisishimane. Asifuni kishimane, sifuna abantu aswafuna amasoka irresponsible. Sifuna abantu responsible in life, who will be able to shape their future ngendlela correct of being responsible. So therefore, ukulwisana gender-based violence will work with you and working with all communities and stakeholders to fight against this scourge. Kodwa nani bodadewethu nabakwethu abaseba first things first. Akenje manje nathi sike prioritize. Yabona leyo ukuthi manje uzoduma uthi uyisoka nje ngakini. Sesadlula leso sikhathi ukuthi khona abantu afana beduma ukuthi uyisoka kangakanani ngasekhaya. Akenje ube umuntu ofunde kangakanani ngasekhaya. Angithi yabo? So leyo busoka ayisizi, because ayizi ukuyisa la ufuna ukuphokophelela khona. So all what is important ukuthi nabodadewethu ake siqondeke nje ukuthi nange ngisabhekene naye kulesi sikhathi. Yabo? Futhi mongasamuzwa kahle usho ukuthi hayi akuhlukwane nje ngendlela futhi iqondile nje kahle, then ke uphinde ukushawa umoya kancane ngoba kufuneka usheshe uthathe i-decision. Mhlawumbe usamthanda nje, ubumshiya nje kanti usamthanda, manje i-problem ukuthi uzothi umshiya futhi ufuna ukumbuyisa at the same time, sekusuka i-conflict. So those are the things that we need to sit down and be open with each other and discuss them so that we can provide solutions. With those few words, thank you very much. We wish you everything of the best.
Sibonga kakhulu Baba Mayor. Isikhathi sethu asisekho. We've run out of time. Thank you very much to our panelists. Masipala wonke, the Youth Office for allowing us such an opportunity to express ourselves, and everyone else who's here who participated and took their time to be part of this program. We thank you very much. The lockdown is still not over. We're still on lockdown. COVID is still there. We're still social distancing. We are sanitizing. And yeah, all the rules that are there, we must observe so that we try and keep the spread of the virus. Siyacela, let us just look after ourselves. Gender-based violence, it shouldn't even be a topic. It should not even be discussed. Listeners at home and the viewers, thank you very much for taking your time. Nislalele. And thank you to the facilitator, Zama Mncube. Thank you very much. Thank you. Over to you, Ayanda. Siyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu Zama, siyabonga kakhulu nabo bonke nje abathe bakhuluma bakwazi ukuthi basize kakhulukazi nokuqhamuka nanezinto engakwazi ukulekelela nabantu abasha. I hope ukuthi umuntu osekhaya ukwazile naye ukuthi asizakale kakhulu ngale ngxoxo ebikade iqhubeka. Asibuyisele kuwena. Siyabonga kakhulu kumlaleli weVibe FM, Inanda FM, Itheku FM, Izlo Mzansi FM, Imbokodo FM, iGood News, Community Radio kanye nayo Intokozo FM. Siyabonga kakhulu nawe lapho ngasekhaya mlaleli. Yes, ithuba sekunikezile. Siyabonga futhi nakathi bethumela la epageni. I can see Zama la ukuthi le ndaba ye-age isase-issue kubantu abaningi kodwa bathi hayi Zama si-youth endala sifuna ukungena lapha. Siyabonga kakhulu guys, ube nobusuku lomndani. Sale kahle.
Durban is missing you. Let's take this time to recharge. Durban is waiting to welcome you after lockdown. Be energized by the ocean, beach and bush. Discover Durban's adventures and tranquility. Play on the promenade and put the fun back in your life. Enjoy a township experience. Do the Inanda Heritage Trail. Explore Durban's cultural diversity. Stay at home and plan to create new memories. Visit Durban online. Durban's warm hospitality awaits you.